welcome back to another Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. Or I should say GM mode franchise here on the channel. In the last episode, we finished up the regular season. We picked it up at the trade deadline and simulated it all the way to the end of the season. Took a look at our team leaders and points. Took a look at some stats, the playoffs, the standings, all that good stuff. So in this episode, we're going to go through the entirety of the off season. That's going to include the draft, the re-sign stage, free agency, and then we will set ourselves up for year number 2. So without further ado, let's head into the calendar here and simulate to the 22nd. So we can actively see who advances in the playoff trees, who doesn't, stuff like that. I am pretty optimistic about our future. We definitely got a good team going forward, but the plan is like the rebuild isn't going to take 1 year. It's going to be a process, and we have to be ready for that process, because this can be a long and painful rebuild, but we just have to be sure that we are ready to commit to this rebuild. And it looks like we have some teams that have moved on. We have the Jets and Knights who advanced, the Ducks and the Avalanche, and the Hurricanes and the Bruins, and the Lightning and the Blue Jackets. So second round is underway. Boakfitz is finally healed, but he's going to sit out for a little bit longer. Let's go to the 5th here. And let's take a look at some conference finals matchups. It's going to be the Ducks versus the Knights in the West. And in the East, we still don't know yet. So it looks like it's going to be the Knights versus the Ducks and the Hurricanes versus the Lightning. So we'll simulate up to the 15th. See if we know who's going to the finals. We still don't know yet. Let's go to the 18th. Knights have a 3-1 lead. And look at this matchup in the finals. The Vegas Golden Knights going head-to-head against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's see if we have a winner here yet, and we do not. Hurricanes are up 3-1 in the series. And they are your 2020-2021 Stanley Cup champions. The Carolina Hurricanes, for the first time since 2006, where they defeated the Edmonton Oilers, are back on top. They are your Stanley Cup champions. Before we actually do anything, I want to take a look at their roster. Like, what do they got? Because that right there is what I want to replicate. The Carolina Hurricanes roster. And we already know what they're built off of. They're built off of defense. Because if we take a look at their defense, they got a 90, an 88, 85, 84, 83, 82. And in goal, they only got 84s. And they got these defensemen locked up for cheap. For their playing, for their level of play. Brett Pesce he's a $6 million defenseman. Jacob Slavin, he's in like a $7 or $8 million defenseman. Dougie Hamilton, this guy's a $9 or $10 million defenseman. Brady Shea, you can make the argument he's overpaid, but it's still not a bad price. Same with Jake Gardner and Hayden Fleury. And you take a look at their forward core. Sebastian Aho is a superstar. Teuvo Teravainen is a superstar in the making. Svechnikov, same thing. They brought in Kyle Palmieri. That's a nice pickup. Trocheck has revived his career, I should say, in Carolina. Ryan Dzingel, you don't need a writer. Warren Fogle, Brock McGinn, Martin Nietzsche, Brackall, Martinuk, Stahl, Geeky. Like, it's not an overpowered roster. It's just deep. So is that what we need to do? We need to have a deep team? I think so. Let's take a look at some awards. So the Carolina Hurricanes, like I said, are back on top. Art Ross, Nathan McKinnon, Maurice Richard, the Hart Memorial also goes to Nathan McKinnon. So let's import him into the spreadsheet. He is imported now. He finished with 100 points. James Norris goes to Seth Jones. It looks like that could happen in real life at some point. Lady Bing goes to our very own Patrick Kane. You'd like to see that. He gets an award for exhibiting the best sportsmanship. The Calder Memorial goes to the goaltender out of New York, Igor Shesterkin. So let's import him. Conn Smythe goes to Peter Mrazek. He spells Peter weird, but I'm not going to criticize him because he is the Stanley Cup champion. The Vezina goes to Jacob Markstrom. I'm not sure if it's spelled with a K or a C in Jacob, but I'll obviously figure that out. William N. Jennings goes to the goaltender with the Florida Panthers, and that is Sergei Bobrovsky. We have to see what his goals against average was. The Bill Masterton, goes to Patrick Nemeth. So let's import him. Nemeth. The Frank J. Selke. Ryan O'Reilly, one of the best two-way defenders, if not the best two-way defender in the league. As a Bruins fan, I'm always going to argue for Patrice Bergeron, but I understand he's getting older, and you have a lot of these other guys that deserve it. But I'm always going to fight for my man and Patrice Bergeron. But there you go. But before we do that, let's check out some league stats. The top scorers of the league. So we kind of already checked this stuff out. Take a look at some surprising guys like Anders Lee, 83 points in 82 games. Man, that has to be a career high, no? Yeah, career high in points. Matt Barzal, 82 points in 82 games. TJ Oshie was 79. That has to be a career high. Yep. Huberdeau, Malkin, Pedersen, Sam Reinhart. That has to be a career high. Yep, by 10. Jamie Benn reviving his career in Dallas again. You like to see that. Jordan Eberle with 71 points. Ron Johansson having a nice bounce back here in Nashville. That's exactly what they want to see. Same with Jeff Skinner. Bounce back here in Buffalo. And let's take a look at the goaltending. Top goaltenders of the league, Ben Bishop. That's exactly why Dallas kept him. For that reason there. UC Saros. Look at Sergei Bobrovsky. A 1.97 goals against average and a 932 save percentage. That's insane. Who had the highest save percentage? Jacob Markstrom with 932 as well. There's a lot of really good goalies in this league, man. That's crazy. Okay. So, on the spreadsheet, we're done with league results. We're done with playoff trees. We're done with league awards, top players, and 25 and under teams. Now we just look forward to the draft lottery. Let's see where your Chicago Blackhawks are going to be selecting. So far, we have sold 93% of our season tickets. So let's go ahead and keep going on that. And the draft lottery. Oh, so we're out of the top 10. We actually drop a spot. Montreal jumps from 8 to 1. Arizona jumps from 13 to 2. That first runner comes from New York Rangers. St. Louis from 6 to 3. Los Angeles gets the boot from 1 to 4. Detroit from 2 to 5. Ottawa from 3 to 6. And we drop from 12 to 13. Man. Arizona with the number 2 overall pick and number 9. Minnesota with the 7th and 12th. Wow. Okay. So we get the 13th overall pick in this year's draft. Definitely not a bad pick. We can still get a very good player. Take a look at some retired players. Obviously, you're going to have Henrik Zetterberg and Marian Hossa. Gaborik, Kessler, Derek Roy, Franz Nielsen. That's a big contract coming off Detroit's book. They're pretty happy about that. And no goaltenders, as per usual. Bunch of retirements, blah, blah, blah. Take a look at the draft class, see if we can interview some players. Some potential players that can come in and play for us. So we're down here at 13. We're in the midst for Simon Edvinsson, Luke Hughes, or Atu Ratty. Matthew Beniers. Didn't really scout him that well. That's kind of too bad. There's nothing I can really do about potential. But I'll try it anyways, just to see if I can uncover that potential. What would it be under? Where we know personality and play style, or yeah, skills. Let's do this. Greatest strength is his skating. Weakness is his physicality. Okay. Comes down to one more. Play style. Would it be in here? Or style of play. And playing style to uncover his playing style, obviously. So a two-way forward there in Beniers. Okay. So I don't think we're going to uncover any more about his potential. No. Okay, I have my eye on an A2 Ratty. Reason being, going into this year, he was an obvious consensus #1 pick. But he has since dropped off a little bit, and he's all the way down to 13. So I think we'd be lucky enough for him to fall to us. So I think we have to get him just based on that potential alone. He's a two-way forward, good leadership. He protects the puck well. He has slick hands. He doesn't use his teammates all that often, but he's a leader and he's very loyal. Doesn't have a similar style to anybody. He is NHL ready. High top 6 potential. I'm going to go ahead and pin him to my draft board. Or obviously we can go the defensive routes with Edvinsson or Hughes or Lambos or someone else down here. But Atu Ratty is my pick at 13 if he does fall to me. I think that's going to be about it. Colton Dach, I would love to get with my second rounder, bring him in to pair up with his brother Kirby. So I'm going to go ahead and pin him. In the third round, I think we'd be lucky to get like a Jesper Waldstedt or a Chaz Lucius. I'm going to go ahead and pin Lucius in Middlestat here, and a Waldstedt. Or a Barbachev. He's a good gem there. We do have another third round pick here somewhere. And that's Andre Yakopoth. Sven Svilgard. Go ahead and pin him. Starter here out of Germany in Burned Greece. Burned Greece. I tried. I think that's it. That's going to be about it. So we'll hop into the draft here. I'm not going to bother editing the trade block. So let's go ahead and hop right in. The Montreal Canadiens hold the #1 pick in the draft. And they want to trade it. Ooh, they want to trade it. But what for? It's obviously going to be very valuable. Almost top of the trade value chart. Players that I would be okay with giving up. I can give you a Dylan Strome and the 13th pick. They don't want the 13th. They're moving down 12 spots to pick up a Dylan Strome just to re-sign him and maybe not even sign him. No, we got no deal here. So let's go ahead and simulate the pick. And the Montreal Canadiens with the first overall pick in the 2020-21 entry draft, they select Ruslan Marinov out of Russia. So Marinov comes out the board at #1. The Montreal Canadiens get their franchise centerman and playmaker in Ruslan Marinov at #1. So down the middle of the future, they have Marinov, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi. Pretty good, I'd say. Arizona at #2. They go ahead and take Ludwig Carlson out of, I want to say, Finland. So Ludwig Carlson is a left winger. I can't see if he's Finnish or not, but he is an all-out playmaker, a very fast playmaker, defensively aware as well. In the SM Liga, he put up 9 goals, 15 assists for, 24 points in 59 games. He was a plus 16, averaged about 14-21 time on ice. He is 80 overall with medium elite potential. And then the St. Louis Blues. They go ahead and take Amari Richter. Amari Richter. Okay. Two-way defender out of the U.S. National Development Program. Put up 41 points in 68 games and 25 minutes on the ice. He is an all-out two-way defender. Before we continue on, I want to say what picks we have, numbers-wise. So we obviously have 13, 43rd. We have 84th. I'm just putting this all down in the spreadsheets, so that's why I'm going a little bit slower. So 105, 136, 167th, and 198th. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue on here. Simulate the LA Kings pick. They get Carson Kuhlmans. Detroit, they get Kent Johnson. The Senators, they get Pastujov. Sasha Pastujov, the pure sniper. Minnesota, they pick up Owen Power, the Devils. They go ahead and select Brent Clark, the Coyotes, their second pick of the top 10, Dylan Guenther. The Sharks at pick 10, Carson Lambos. The Edmonton Oilers go ahead and select Simon Edvinsson. And the Minnesota Wild at 12, pick up Luke Hughes. Okay, and that's going to leave us with our pick of the draft, where we are going to go ahead and select out of the Finnish League, also known as the SM Liga, Atu Räty, with the 13th overall pick. He's a 77 overall two-way forward with medium or high top 6 potential. We get him at 13. This is the type of player that I want to build around, and I believe we can do that. He has a great skill set already. He is not cut out for the NHL just yet, I would say, depending on how he plays in the preseason. But I expect him to start his pro career, his NHL career, or his career in this league in the AHL. So let's go ahead and submit to our pick at 43rd. Can we get a Colton Dog? And he goes to Detroit. No! 2 picks. And we would have brought Kirby's brother to Chicago. Dang. Okay. So now we're kind of left in the dust here of who we should select. And I'm not sure who that should be. Obviously, we have some third-round picks here that I can pick. But, man. I want Colton Dach. Teshergol, Nolan Allen, Tristan Waugh. I want someone whose ETA is about like 2 years. A lot of Team Solane comparisons, man. Jacob Malanson. You would have to think he's a two-way forward. Connor Lockhart, Cole Dubinsky, Graham Sword, Cole Huckins, Zach Dean, Beliveau, J.R. Avon. I think I know who I'm going to take. With the 43rd overall pick in this year's draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select from the QMJHL's Quebec Ramparts, Jacob Malanson. Let's see what he is. 65 overall, two-way forward, medium, top 6. So another two-way forward to build around. I like that pick a lot. Let's go to the third round now, pick 84. We do have 2 third-round picks here. No? Huh, I thought we had 2 third-round picks. Guess not. Okay, so pick 84. Ooh, a couple of goalies here. Could go a defenseman known Ilya Radulov. who ETA is 1 year. This is who I'm going with. Ilya Radulov. Offensive defenseman out of Russia. Let's see what we get here. 72 overall, medium top 4. Okay. This is a good one here. Good speed. He has a good two-way game. He's going to fit in just well. So he's going to pick 105 now in the 4th round. I wonder if there's any of those gems left. There should be. There's another goalie, that goalie we're talking about. I think those gems are gone. Yeah, they're gone. Oh well. We're going to go ahead and pick up this goalie here. And, Burned Grease, I should say. ETA is 5 years, but that's what you expect out of a goalie. Let's go ahead and select him with our 5th round pick. Burned Grease out of Germany. This is a 4th round pick. He's 48 overall, medium starter. So we're getting a lot of good potential in this draft. 5th round. Let's see what's on the board. Felix Antoine Marcotti, Oliver Sunny, 5 years, no thanks. Oscar Plandowski, like a project defenseman there. I'm not sure who I should go with. Is there any potential guys that I'm missing? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, so I am going to go with that defenseman out of the QMJHL and Oscar Plandowski with my 5th round pick. So I'm going to import him into the spreadsheet. Oscar Plandowski. He's a project defenseman for us, but that's okay. 53 overall, medium top 6. 6th round. Let's see what's on the board for us here. Scott Van Ryan. Let's go ahead and pick him up. He's a sniper out of the Swedish Hockey League. Scott Van Ryan. Pick him up in the 6th. Medium bottom 6. He's actually a playmaker. And then 7th round. Let's pick up. Where's like a really young guy? Matt Oduya. Pro release, goal scoring, offensive instincts. Let's pick up Matt Oduya. Matt Oduya. Pick him up, left wing out of the Swedish Hockey League. He's also a low bottom 6. So simulate the draft. And there you go. We are done. So we picked 7 times. And I liked our draft. Our top 4 picks turned out really nicely. So now we simulate to the re-sign stage. Rohan McKee, one of our scouts. And here we go. So go into contracts. And here we go. I got to put this all into the draft class. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that as we speak. Let's just make sure we are all good. Okay. So, centers. Let's actually go from bottom to top. So goaltenders, we're still good for 1 year. We got all of our goaltenders signed. I want to keep the same tandems of Delia and Subban in the NHL. Lankinen and Tompkins in the minors. Drew Commesso as a 3rd string in the minors. Then Grace, if we need help, we can sign him and he can be the backup there if we need him. Defensemen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got some guys to sign here. Dylan Coughlin. We brought him in. He played 19 games for us. Plus 4 points, -4. He played about 22 minutes a night. I'm going to go ahead and re-sign him to not that much. to a 1-year contract worth about $1 million. So we are going to be re-signing. Re-signed for 1 year at $1 million, and that is Dylan Coughlin. He is a 78 overall. We have about $28 million to spend. Anton Lindholm does not want to come back. He was a +1 in 20 games for us. I'll go ahead and release him. So we are going to be releasing Anton Lindholm. Import that. Don't need to put any overalls for any release players because that's out of sight, out of mind. Nick Seeler, a depth defenseman down there in the minors. I'll go ahead and re-sign him for 1 year. 1 year, $800K. So 1 year, $800K for Nick Seeler. He is a 75 overall. Okay. Logan Stanley, we obviously want to bring back. 2 years? 1 year. Let's go 1 year deal worth $900K. Logan Stanley re-signed for 1 year at $900K. He is also a 75 overall. Ludwig Carlson, -3 in 62 games down there in the minors. Served as like our 8th defenseman for us. Didn't play at all in the NHL. 23 years old, former 4th round pick. I think we can cut our losses here and release Lucas Carlson and pick up someone else that we actually would play. Sam Scholand. Sam Scholand, we are going to sign him to his entry-level contract at $925K. He is already a 72 overall. He was acquired in the Dallas Stars trade. Ian Mitchell, Regula, Jacob Galvis does not want to re-sign. 22 years old, 5'11", two-way defender. Oh, I would want to bring him back on a... Oh, he wants over $1 million? No, he's just gonna get tendered. He wants over $1 million. He hasn't even played in the NHL yet. He hasn't even cracked the AHL squad. That's funny. Really funny, Jacob Galvis. Really funny. Okay. Right wing. Let's go back up to the top. Good. Victor Edgestill. 26. I think we can cut our losses here and release him. Victor. Oops. Don't know how to spell. Victor Ed. How do you spell that name? Ejdssell. Can go ahead and release him. He's already 26. He's not going to be anything. Cole Mollberg. Former 7th round pick. Power forward. He can play. We'll give him another 1-year contract. Cole Moberg. He was re-signed. Can I spell? Thank you. 1 year, $750K. He is a 68 overall. He grew a little bit, it looks like. Yetman. Who is this guy? Chad Yetman. Go ahead and release him. 21 years old, but only a medium AHL top 6. Nicholas Nordgren. Want to re-sign him for 2 years. $800K. So let's go ahead and put him in. Nicholas Nordgren. Re-signed for 2 years at $800K. He is a 59 overall. Left wing. Got a couple here. Brennan Peary. I did say I did want to bring him back, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Re-signed. Brennan Peary on a 1-year deal worth $1 million. Brandon Peary. He is a 80 overall. Philip DiGiuseppe. We're going to re-sign him to a 1-year, $850K contract. He is a 76 overall. There you go. Brendan Hagel. Brandon Hagel re-signed for 2 years at $900K. He is a 75 overall. So 2 years, $900K. There you go. Albin Eriksson. Let's give him the 2-year contract. Albin Eriksson has been re-signed for 2 years, $850K. He is a 73 overall. Anyone else? Alex Antti-Sorella. He can be a replacement for what's-his-face, Victor Edgecell. Resigned. We're going to give him that 3-year contract worth $900K. He is a 66 overall. 3 years, $900K. And then finally with centers. David Kampf. I do want to bring back on a 3-year contract. He wants 2.1. I'll give him about 3 mil. So 3 years, $3 million for David Kampf. He is an 82 overall. There you go. Dylan Strome. Let's give him a contract. Ooh, he wants to get paid. Okay, we're going to resign him for 1 year. 1 year at... I'll do 3.5 for him. But he wants to get paid. And I don't know if I'm willing to pay him what he wants. Dylan Strome, given that contract. A Matthias Janmark is going to get released. Matthias Janmark, excuse me. Released. Lucas Reichel is going to get signed to his entry-level contract. He is a 75 overall. He's going to get signed 3 years, $925K for him. And I believe that's it. Nope, P.S. Sutter. What do we want to do with him? I'll just go ahead and release P.S. Sutter. P.S. Sutter. There you go. Release him. And I believe we are done for this day. Let's go ahead and simulate a day. Brennan Peary is going to reject this offer at the dollar value. Okay. Strome resigned. Kampf. Seller. DiGiuseppe rejected. Okay. So far we have 2 that rejected. And that's about it. Okay. So Brennan Peary. He rejected our offer. And DiGiuseppe's the 2 left wingers. So Brennan Peary, we're going to give him a 2-year... We're going to give him what he wants. Brennan Peary, a 2-year, $1 million deal. And Philip DiGiuseppe, good 2-way defender. He can play down there. Let's give him 1 year, $900K. Let's see if he signs that. Peary rejects, and so does DiGiuseppe. Okay. So we're gonna have to give him more than you want. I want to re-sign Peary, so I'm going to go 1 year, 1.5 for him. So let's switch that back to 1 year, $1.5 million. And DiGiuseppe, 1 year. I'm going to give him a 1-way contract. 1 year, $950K. So Peary resigns, and DiGiuseppe does as well. Okay, so next up, I do want to sign signed to Ratty to his entry-level contract. So let's go ahead and do that. But the date has changed. We are now at 6/28/2021. Switch all that up. He is a 77 overall. Let's offer him that contract. There you go. And then that should be it. Right wing, I believe we're fine defensively. I don't know if I want to sign this Radulov yet. Lefty. Yeah, I'll go ahead and sign Ilya Radulov. So we're going to do the same thing. Signed him to a 3-year, $925K contract for Ilya Radulov. This is same day, so 6/28/2021. He is a 72 overall. He is signed. Goalies, and I think we're fine. So both of them sign. We're up to 48 contracts. And a bunch of our players that we need to sign are unsigned. But I believe that's everyone besides Jacob Galvis. But he is tendered for now. And we did have a scout that we did need to sign. So let's head over to the assigned scouts. And it was our USA Central guy. And McKee. Let's resign him to a 3-year contract. Rohan McKee. And simulate a day. He doesn't resign yet. Go to January 1st and he does resign with the franchise. Okay. So we're in free agency now. And we have to take a look at some holes that are potentially on our roster. So before we actually take a look, don't worry, I didn't peek yet. Let's take a look at what we have to work with. So first off, let's look down the middle on our center depth. So center depth, our number 1 is still Jonathan Toews, our captain. He's our center number 1. Dylan Strome is going to be our center number 2. And then you can put Kirby Dach as our number 3. And then Matthew Highmore, our number 4. I know we see David Kampf there, but I'm gonna play him on the wing. Even though he does have 83 faceoffs. But he is going to be the wing. Carpenter, Quenneville. I'm not sure I want to count them yet. Carpenter could be our extra center. So I'll go ahead and put him in as our 5th center. Ryan Carpenter. Okay, left side. We have Dominique Kubalik. Brennan Peary, who I do want to play on the 3rd line. Give him a opportunity. In the minors, do we got anything to work with there? DiGiuseppe, Hagel. So not really. We have a lot of jobs up for grabs. On the right side, we have Patrick Kane, Alex DeBrincat. Patrick Kane is an assistant captain. Andrew Shaw, Mackenzie, and Twistle is going to be slotted in on that 4th line to start the year. Anyone down here? No. Andrew Shaw can be our kind of backup and our 13th forward. Defensively, we still have Duncan Keith, Adam Boakfist as our top guys. Duncan Keith has an A to his name. Connor Murphy still here. Brent Seabrook, Bodine, and Coughlin. So Bodine, I do want to play in the top 6. So he's going to slot in there. Brent Seabrook is going to be his D partner to start up the year. Then you have Connor Murphy on the right side. And then that leaves Dylan Coughlin to be the 7th defenseman. So we do need to sign a top 4 guy. And then goaltending, Colin Delia and Malcolm Subban. Didn't check defenseman in the minors, but we already know what we got. Okay. So we have some holes in our forward group and our defensive group. So we need a 2nd line left winger. And that job can be up for grabs from someone in our minor league system. But I do want to sign a forward nonetheless to fill out some spots. So let's go to UFAs. And who would I be interested in bringing into Chicago? Drake Kajula, bring him back. Sven Barchi. Sven Berchi wouldn't be bad. He doesn't fit, though. He kind of does. Right wing. Matt Luff. Corey Perry. Josh Hosang. Taylor Radish. Good power forward. He fits on the second line, a power play. So he does fit. Taylor Radish. 77 medium top, 9 potential. Did you play in the NHL or AHL? AHL, okay. I'll come back to that. But centers, anyone who can put on the wing. You have $22 million to spend, so we do need to get to the cap floor. Ivan Barbachev. He can slide in on that second line left wing spot. 10 points in 33 games. Could use a fresh start. A Russian. Okay, this guy, he does fit. Ivan Barbachev. Let's see if we can sign him to a 2-year contract. 2 years, $3 million. So this is the first. So let's go ahead and put him in. Signed to a 2-year, $3 million deal. That is Ivan Barbachev. He's an 80 overall. Okay. Anyone else? Not really. We could bring in Alexis Sarella, but not really a need. Jujar Kyra? No. Let's take a look at the wingers again. Sanford, Alex Iafallo. Oh, on the penalty, he fits on the penalty kill, so probably in the bottom 6 for Iafallo. We do have a need there, so let's go ahead and give him a contract. 1 year, 3.5 for Alex Iafallo. Alex Iafallo signed 1 year, 3.5. He is an 82 overall. Two-way guys here. Let's take a look. Carson Twarnski. Adam Earn. AJ Greer. Right wing. There's that Radish character, but he wants a one-way deal. Rhett Gardner. Good power forward. Doesn't really fit, though. Tyler Caro. He fits. Tanner Caro. See if we can sign him. Tanner Caro signed. 1 year. What does he want? 925K. I'll actually give him a 2-year deal at that. 9 year, 925K. We might have to move out some contracts to bring these guys in, but that's okay. Get that. Any left wingers, right wingers, or defensemen? We did need a top 4 guy. So let's go back to UFAs. Because we do need a top 4 guy. Adam Pelech. Jason Demers. Ryan Murray. I want someone who, like, he has something to prove. So he's going to be hungry. Jamie Oleksiak. He could fit. Oleksiak, he would slot in nicely with... But I want like an offensive defenseman, almost, to play with Connor Murphy. Brady Keeper. 2-way guy, but more of a defensive character. He doesn't fit. Julius Honka. He doesn't fit at all. Damn. Yannick Weber. Nikita Nesterov. He doesn't really fit. I guess that's pretty much it. Tim Heed. We don't even know about him. Then we're getting down here to guys I don't really want in the top 4. Let's sign one of these guys, like Alex Goligoshki. He doesn't really fit. Sami Vatanen. We don't even know. Okay, let's kind of backtrack here. Who was I looking at? Maybe like a Ryan Murray. Let's just kind of go like by this, I guess. So Chara fits, but I don't need penalty killers. Adam Larson, Goligoshi Murray, Merrill, Osher Seal, Savard, Cole, Bouwmeester, Corbin Forbert, Labushkin Ruda, Oleksiak. I'll sign Jamie Oleksiak, I guess. Give him a 1-year deal worth $2 million. We can slot him in the top 4 for now. So I'm giving him $2 million. Jamie Oleksiak. He is signed on the same day, 7/21/2020. He is an 80 overall. Okay, and I don't think I need any goaltenders. There's no one really out here anyway. Peter Mrazek, 1.6? Excuse me? Didn't he just win the Conn Smythe? Oh my god. Okay. I don't need a goalie, but if I would, he would be on my list. Stuart Skinner. Oh my gosh. Gustafson. Zagadulin. Martin. Okay. I'm just gonna simulate. Or we actually have to make a trade because we do not, have the room to sign all of those guys. So we do have to clear up some contracts room. Because we have one spot available, and we have a guy tendered who's taken up a spot. So a guy I would want to move is John Quenneville, Karaninen, left wing, Chalupa, right wing, defenseman, goalies, and that's it. So 3 roster spots here should be enough. Does anyone want all of them? Probably not. I'll give them to someone like Detroit, a rebuilding team. And I'm not going to ask for much at all. But they're going to be getting John. Who are they getting? John Quenneville. Evil. Matej. Chalupa. And what's this guy's name? Mikhail Hakarinen to Detroit in exchange for Dylan Larkin's on the trade block. What? In exchange for a 2022 7th round pick. A 7th round pick for 3 players. One of them being a 77 overall. Another one having medium bottom 6 and fairly young, I want to say. 23 years old. And you're just getting an AHL bottom 6 guy. Trade accepted. So we get a 7th round pick for those 3 players and clear up some roster spots. So I think we can go ahead and simulate to see if we get those guys. So Jamie Oleksiak, he signs. He's going to slot in the top 4. Alex Iafallo on the 3rd line. Ivan Barbachev on the 2nd line. And Tanakero in the minors. Okay. So we filled out our roster fairly nicely. Is there any contract extensions that I feel like handing out right now? Let's sort by wants extension. Boakfist, Kirby Duck, Murphy Shaw. Okay, so Boakfist, he's injury riddled. He broke, I hope, both his legs, not just the same one. But how much does he want? Let's take a look. 2 years, 4.3. Long term, 5.5. Ooh, Kirby Duck. Long term, over 10. Jesus. Adam Boakfist, though. 8-year contract, only 5.5. Probably get that down to $5 million. Let's see if we can sign him to this. Adam Boakfist, 8-year deal worth worth $40 million. Adam Boakfist. Let's see if we can. He takes that. So that extension was handed out on the 14th. He's an 81 overall. Is there anyone who's expiring who doesn't want an extension? Kublik, and the rest we have just signed, pretty much. Okay. So Adam Boakfist, does he take the deal? 8 years at $40 million. Let's see. Adam Boakfist re-signs for 8 years. Okay, so we're betting on him having stronger legs than what he showed this year. We're getting some trade offers here. Galvis, he accepts his deal. Okay. What was he actually signed to? Because I need to import that. So he was signed to a obviously 1-year deal. He's going to be in the minors. Signed recently. Jacob Galvis to 825. 825. I believe that was his last contract, and that is signed on 8/5/2021. He's just 65 overall. Okay. So instead of that $1 million he wanted, he's going to get a 2-way contract. So we are approaching the 50-minute. We're over 50 minutes. This is going to be a longer episode. But that's okay. Jonas Brodin for a second and Sorella. No thank you. I'm not taking on that horrid contract. Not yet. So $97 million. Or, I wish. 97% of our season tickets have been sold. Where are we salary cap wise? $16 million. So I think I'm going to sign someone so we can get comfortably to the floor. Maybe a swap of player. How about like let's see. I gotta sign someone to a pretty big contract here. So free agency. Chernak is an RFA. These guys are all RFAs, no? Yeah. Okay, so the oldest guy here, Andy Green. I would like to get a forward who can actually play in the minors. David Backus, let's give him a 1-year, $6 million deal. 1 year, $6 million. Doherty was getting paid last year, so why not give him 1 more year of that? So 1 year, $6 million. Let's go ahead and put that into the spreadsheet. So signed, 1 year, $6 million for a David. Don't know how to spell David Backus. That contract was handed out 9/6/2021, 77 overall. So we do need to trade a player to free up that roster spot. And who should that be? Lowest overall guy, Nordgren, but I want to hang on to him. How many defensemen do we got in the AHL? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nick Sealer can go. Who needs a contract? Or who needs some contract space? Pittsburgh. Let's trade Nick Sealer to Pittsburgh. So let me go ahead and put him into a spreadsheet. Nick Sealer. I'm not sure what we can get back, but let's go for a 2022 7th round pick, and I'll even give them a 2027 6 to make it work. So a 2027 6th round pick in exchange for a 2027 7th round pick. The trade favors them, obviously. We're freeing up a roster spot. We get a 7th. They get a 6th. So now we can get to the cap floor comfortably. There you go. And once preseason hits, I won't even bother looking at the lines. That's just where I will leave it off. So owner goals. 31 sellouts, beat the St. Louis Blues in our first regular season meeting, and get 18 home wins, excuse me. So I'm just going to mark done, and here we are. I'm going to leave it off there, guys. We have a fairly long episode of 55 minutes, but a lot has happened. We went through the entirety of the offseason, and in the next episode, we'll set ourselves up for year number 2. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.